Hello, everyone.
Hi.
How are you guys?
Yeah, I'm good today. How are you?
Very well, thanks. What about you, Bon?
I'm fine.
Oh, nice to hear that.
Uh, can I ask you something? Doesn't everyone read the story about the life you say may be your own yet?
Yes, of course.
Wow.
Oh, then can I ask you some questions?
Yes,
Okay, first question. How does Mr. Shipwreck present himself to Mrs. Carter?
Mr. presents himself as a poor homebred, disabled man looking forward. He emphasizes his disability by showing his missing arm hand leaning to one side. When he walks, he carries tools and say he he is carpenter. Will give him job fixing up her task by doing hard work around the farm and being kind to Lucinda.
Good. Next questions. What does Mr. Shipwreck accomplish during his week on the Carter farm?
Doing the work on the farm, Mr. worked very hard and fixed many things that needs repair. He built new he built new structure like a chicken coop and hog pen. He also fixed parts of the house and teacher Lucinda to say one word. He began a compliment is getting the broken down car to start running again. The mother is very happy and impressed with how much Mr. Mr. Stewart gets done.
Next question. Lucinel's disability and how does it affect her?
Lucinda is completely deaf and mute. She cannot hear or speak at all. His disability makes it very hard for her to communicate or understand what people around her are saying. She does not seem to comprehend what is happening. For example, on her wedding day, she just sits there pouring cherry off her head and does not seem to realize she is getting very her limited awareness. Make it easy for people to take advantage of her.
Okay, next question. What two arguments do Mr. Shiplet and Mrs. Crater make?
One, Miss Crater offers to let Chiplet stay in a shed on her property and feed him if he fixes up parts of her dilapidated house and land. Two, Mrs. Crater proposed that Chiplet marry her daughter Lucinelle on Saturday, appealing to Chiplet's need for a permanent home and innocent wife.
What happens to each of the characters at the end of the story?
Shiplet abandons Lucinelle at a restaurant, speeding away in the car. He picks up. He feels no remorse, blaming the world itself for being rotten. Lucinelle is discovered alone at the restaurant, still waiting for Shiplet to return. She is brought back to her remote home by her mother. Lucinelle's mother weeps over being abandoned again, having hoped Shiplet would provide companionship for her innocent daughter.
Why does Mrs. Crater assume that Mr. Shiplet is no one to fear? What could to his two characters that she failed to notice?
Shiplet charms and entertains Lucinelle, the daughter, from the start by offering her gum and teaching her new words. This liking makes Mrs. Crater see him as harmless. Shiplet presents himself as an unemployed drifter wanting to appreciate untouched nature and act with moral intelligence, unlike money-driven modern society. This, this lofty philosophizing brings Mrs. Crater to his underlying tipsiness. She fails to recognize red flags like his shady appearance and insistence on being publicly financially set up before committing to marriage. And desperate for Lucinelle to have companionship, Mrs. Crater ignores signs Shipwreck does not genuinely care about her daughter. Ultimately, her loneliness and innocence leave both Crater women vulnerable to being exploited and abandoned by Shiplet.
Oh, what does Mr. Shiflet want from Miss Crater? How do you know?
Little secrets for Mrs. Carter's car and eventually her property. This is evident when he offers to feed the car in exchange for food and shelter, and later proposes to marry Lucinelle, Mrs. Carter's daughter, to secure the property.
And why does Miss Crater think that Mr. Shiflet is a good match for her daughter? Support your own answer with example from the story.
Mrs. Carter believes Mr. Shipwreck is a good match for her daughter due to his charm and his apparent interest in Lucinelle. He sees him as a potential provider for her daughter's future. For instance, she interprets his fixing of the car as a sign of his commitment.
And what about the factor might motivate Mr. Shiflet to make each agreement? Do you think he intend to honor the second one? Why or why not?
Mr. Shipwreck's motivation includes obtaining material gain like the car and property. She agrees to marry Lucinelle to secure the inheritance. However, his character writes down about his insincerity and his react about departure after the marriage ceremony suggests he may not have intended to honor the agreement, driven more by self-interest than genuine commitment.
Mhm.
Okay, next, whose life, if anyone's, do you think may have been saved at the end of story? Explain your choice.
I think Lucinelle's life may have been saved in a literal sense, as Mr. Shiplet left her at the dinner, potentially sparing her from future manipulation, and neglect. Another interpretation is that Mr. Chiplet himself may have been saved from a life of the emptiness and moral decay by abandoning the Carter family and pursuing his own selfish desire.
So, how might this story be different if it were set in a modern day city instead of on a country farm in the 1940s? Explain your answer.
If the life you save may be your own, were set in a modern day city instead of rural farm in the 1940s, the story dynamic would change. In the city, there would be more anonymity and fewer social connection, potentially making it easy for Mr. Shepherd to manipulate others. Additionally, modern technology and social service could alter the character's circumstance and choice overall, while the core theme of the story might stay the same. The specific detail and social context would likely differ in a modern urban setting.
And next, how is your response to the reading focus on page 3, like Mr. Creator's initial response to Chiplet? How is the how is it different?
In my opinion, when Mrs. Carter first met Mr. Chaplet and noticed his intriguing behavior, she might have felt that something about him was not right. However, when Mr. Chaplet made a sarcastic remark, she didn't grasp its meaning. Unlike me, as a reader who can understand the feelings and thoughts of each character.
Next question. The painting of clues about what may happen later in a story is foreshadowing which part of the story following the end.
The foreshadowing is evident in Mr. Shiflet's behavior and his attachment to cause. His action foreshadow an unexpected turn of events toward the end of the story.
Situational irony occurs when the outcome of a situation is different from the expectation of a character or of a reader. Reader explain this situational irony in this story.
The leaders and Miss Carter expectation level the stark contrast between Mr. Shiflet's initial behavior and his final decision, causing a conflicting situation.
A hypocrite is someone who came to has certain belief but whose action prove otherwise. Do you think Mr. Schubert is a hypocrite? Why or why not is Mrs. Katie Carter a hypocrite? Explain.
Mr. Shiflet's action could be viewed as hypocritical because he did care for Lucinel's conflict with his abandonment, and Mrs. Carter is also a hypocrite. This is because she prioritized her desire for a son-in-law over Lucinel's well-being. Oh, thank you for sharing idea today.
Yeah, thank you too. Everyone is so wonderful.
Uh,